Here's your wrestling news for October 14th, 2022, and we're kicking off today with Bray Wyatt, and ever since his return at Extreme Rules, there have been talks of a new Wyatt family, which his brother Bo Dallas is rumored to be a part of. Given how popular Wyatt is, a new stable is certainly an interesting idea, but don't count on this group taking on the Bloodline. A report has been going around that WWE is planning for the Wyatts versus the Bloodline at this year's Survivor Series, and that the Judgment Day will take on the Club and a mystery female superstar. As per Ringside News' latest report though, the rumor doesn't hold any weight, and sources reportedly told RSN that the rumor that's currently making the rounds is fake news. Wyatt could indeed soon have a group of wrestlers doing his bidding, as we saw his Firefly Funhouse puppets brought to life at Extreme Rules, and Brian Alvarez was the one to report that Bo is coming back. In addition to Bo, who many believe was the Fiend at Extreme Rules, there's also Abby the Witch, Huskus the Pig Boy, Ramblin' Rabbit, and Mercy the Buzzard, who fans believe to be Grayson Waller. Only time will tell who is under those masks for what's being dubbed the Wyatt Six, but a storyline with the Bloodline is not in the pipeline. There's no confirmation by WWE on who will be in the Wyatt Six if a new stable for Bray Wyatt is greenlit, but one former superstar is ready to let him in. In 2021, Eva Marie returned to WWE after 4 years away, but her tenure with the company was short-lived, as she was released the same year. Part of Eva's return saw her feud with Alexa Bliss, then in her Dark Alexa persona, and the former Total Divas star could have some darkness of her own. On Twitter, Eva shared a video of her throwing Lily, Alexa's doll, in a trash can, and the video ended with Bray's new logo. As if that wasn't enough, Eva's caption said that if she made that shot, which she did, then she's going back to WWE, and tagged WWE, Peacock, and Wyatt himself. Using the hashtag #SisterAbigail, Eva has laid claim to one of the roles in the Wyatt Six, but do you want to see Eva back and in this role? Let us know in the comments. Bray Wyatt's return has proven to be a hit with fans, with the former Universal Champion set to appear on tonight's SmackDown. We can't say for certain what Wyatt will say during his first SmackDown in a very long time, but we may know what future plans are for the character. After Wyatt's return, WWE filed 2 interesting trademarks with the US Patent Office and now own the terms Uncle Howdy and Uncle Harper. The QR code spotted on this week's Raw took fans to the URL wwe.com/howdy, and while this could just be a greeting from Bray, the story told so far has rewarded fans for picking apart any clues. As for Uncle Harper, that name has great significance as it references Luke Harper, aka Brody Lee, who sadly passed away in December 2020. At Extreme Rules, Wyatt walked through a shining doorway much like Lee's debut in AEW, which many have said was a tribute to the former Wyatt family member. These 2 characters certainly seemed related to Wyatt, but WWE has not confirmed anything on TV yet, but that could very much be the case during tonight's edition of SmackDown. Before coming to AEW, Saraya competed in WWE as Paige and had a highly successful career in the ring before health issues and injuries derailed her career. Saraya's last few years in WWE were spent on the shelf, and we now know more about the circumstances surrounding her departure this year. Fightful Select reports that when Saraya shared news on June 10th that she would be leaving on July 7th, she had only just found out the news herself. It was also reported that Saraya had big projects outside of WWE that she had wanted to achieve, but they had been restricted to some degree. Saraya spent her final few years with WWE trying to get medically cleared, but it's said that she received conflicting messages from higher-ups regarding her ability to wrestle, physical status, and the way that things went down. Choosing not to renew Saraya's deal was one of the last decisions Vince McMahon made before his own exit from WWE, but it is one that the new regime quickly tried to undo. As Fightful reports, we're told by those familiar with the situation that Saraya was actually offered the general manager position by the new WWE regime about a month after her deal was not renewed. That was a spot she held years ago, before WWE did away with authority figures for a while. However, higher-ups also mentioned to her that if she ever wanted to return to the ring and wrestle, they would make that happen. There's a lot of conjecture and rumors about WWE getting Saraya numerous doctors to get her cleared, but we're told that's not true. To the extent that WWE didn't have her checked at all for a return to the ring, and Saraya actually went through 3 extensive health checks to gain clearance for an in-ring return herself. We're even told that WWE wasn't interested in bringing her back prior to the new regime and wouldn't sign off on x-rays to have her examined, and that the case was closed as far as they were concerned. With a vague promise that she could wrestle again, but WWE not wanting to get her checked, Saraya got herself medically tested extensively. It seems like the new regime didn't want her back in the ring as much as they told her they would, as they wouldn't sign off on x-rays of her neck to have her examined. Despite this, it's reported that Triple H and Saraya have a positive relationship, no doubt thanks in part to how the game worked with her in NXT. Triple H was also said to have been shocked that his father-in-law didn't renew her contract, but he couldn't undo what he believed to be a mistake by McMahon. Instead, the freedom to do projects without giving WWE a cut made Saraya choose AEW instead of her previous employer, signing a 3-year deal with Tony Khan. After debuting at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, a match with Britt Baker appears to be in the works, and the opportunity to get back in the ring is something Saraya has been waiting on for a very long time. Saraya made a huge impression when she debuted at the Grand Slam edition of Dynamite, but the British wrestler was nowhere to be seen on this week's episode. When asked by a fan on Twitter, Saraya explained that not only was she not in Toronto for Dynamite, but she was on an entirely different continent as she had taken a trip home to the UK. Saraya did vow that she will be back for next week's episode in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is also the hometown of AEW World Champion Jon Moxley. Fans can expect Saraya to continue to build her feud on next week's Dynamite as the two continue to work towards what will be the Brits' first match in almost 5 years. For years, fans have called on WWE to book The Rock vs. Roman Reigns, a dream match that has never looked more likely. It's been reported that The Rock vs. Reigns is a lock for WrestleMania 39, and it's a match both men have teased in the past. Speaking to E! This week to promote Black Adam, the Brahma Bull spoke about a possible WrestleMania match and is fully on board with the idea. I love the idea of a WrestleMania, and I'm close with a lot of people there, but one in particular, who we've talked about this. So I like it, but there's so many variables that come into play. But I'm a promoter at heart too, and promoting that event and what it might be, so I love WrestleMania and I love that world. Of course, The Rock didn't confirm that the match is on, only that he wants the match to take place. The Rock may be the busiest man in Hollywood, but his schedule is suspiciously empty in the first 3 months of 2023, adding fuel to the belief that he'll be stepping in the ring with the Tribal Chief soon enough. Now at Forbidden Door, Adam Cole came up short in his efforts to become IWGP World Heavyweight Champion and also suffered a concussion in the process. While Cole has made appearances for AEW since then, he's yet to step back in the ring, and there's now been a worrying update on his condition. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer spoke about the Owen Hart Men's Cup winner, saying that his days in the ring may unfortunately be over. It's a concussion, it's a bad concussion, real bad concussion. He'll be back when he's cleared. Could be tomorrow, could be never, you know what I mean? Of course, AEW don't want to risk putting Cole back in the ring before he is ready, even now, 5 months since his injury. While Cole would no doubt be valuable behind the scenes, the former NXT champion signed with AEW to be a wrestler, and we can only hope he gets the chance to do that again. We simply can't say for certain whether Cole will wrestle again, and fans have responded loudly to the prospect that he could be forced to retire at the age of 33. On Twitter, several fans responded to this worrying update, with some accusing AEW of having an unsafe working environment. Others claimed that such an injury wouldn't happen under Triple H's watch in WWE and insinuated that Cole should have stayed with his former employer. Some fans were less territorial, simply saying that this is a tragedy and hopefully Cole will be okay. With Kyle O'Reilly also being out due to neck fusion surgery, things aren't looking good for the Undisputed Era alum, and we can only keep hoping that both Cole and O'Reilly make speedy and full recoveries. One name fans can see compete in AEW is Jon Moxley, who is in his 3rd reign as AEW World Champion, but this reign wasn't ever supposed to happen. The reason Moxley is champion today is because CM Punk was stripped of the title, which came at a very inconvenient time for the former Lunatic Fringe. As Moxley explained to Justin Barrasso, he had been scheduled to take 6 weeks after All Out to have some much-deserved time off, but the fight backstage changed those plans. I was gonna be gone and off TV for 6 weeks. It wasn't that I needed a vacation, I was feeling good and feeling hot, but it had to do with what we were going to do for a story. Going into All Out, I was thinking, after I get through this match, that's it for a while. I wrestled the match, and we kicked each other's. I was happy, Chicago was happy, everybody was happy. I went outside to smoke a cigarette with Eddie Kingston in celebration. That vacation lasted about 30 minutes. By the time I went to bed that night, I was pretty sure we were going to pretend that vacation was never going to happen, but it's all good, you just roll with the punches. One day Moxley will get that time off, but it won't be while he's champion, and we'll have to commend him for being a wrestler Tony Khan can rely upon, unlike the previous AEW World Champ. And we're ending today with Kurt Angle, who despite his WWE release in 2020, has made sporadic appearances for the company since then. The last time we saw Kurt, it was in August when he hosted the Kurt Angle Show, and the Olympian revealed that he is still connected to WWE. Speaking on the Bubba Army podcast, Angle elaborated, saying he signed a nostalgia contract, which is basically a merchandise contract. Kurt explained that he gets paid per appearance he makes for WWE, but they have set him up with a really nice deal with merchandise royalties. The former WWE champion did add that despite his nostalgia contract, he isn't just obligated to WWE and can still book his own appearances at conventions without WWE's approval. It is not just this nostalgia contract that Kurt is pleased with though, as he added that he's been doing a lot of production stuff with WWE and that his behind-the-scenes work has been kind of cool. With a documentary about Angle in the works and the Olympian not 100% shutting the door on one last match, there's a lot of possibilities for the Hall of Famer, as he seems happy to keep working with WWE. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.